Good afternoon, respected faculty and respected guests and brilliant student community. Following the momentum of our enriching journey, we welcome you to another exciting day of our one-week Fdp program on Dreamweaving, the art of turning ideas into creative reality, and the student training program on innovative training week, skills and development for the future. Reflecting on yesterday's enlightening session on machine learning, a new frontier in creative problem solving, we continue to explore the vast landscape of innovation and technology. Today, we delve into the topic of unlocking creativity, strategies for innovative thinking, a subject critical to the evolution of engineering and technology. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Lakshman Mishra, a distinguished faculty member from the Department of Mechanical Engineering at High-Tech Institute of Technology, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Dr. Mishra's academic journey, culminating in a PhD from National Institute of Technology, Mizoram, showcases his unwavering commitment to research and excellence. With over 18 research publications and book chapters, his contribution to mechanical engineering are profound, spanning energy and energy analysis, solar thermal systems, and much more. Dr. Mishra's passion does not stop at academia. He is a fervent advocate for innovation and entrepreneurship, dedicated to transforming creative ideas into sustainable solutions. His work embodies the spirit of practical problem solving, bridging the academic with applicable and inspiring future engineers to think beyond conventional boundaries. Please, sir, continue to speak.
Hello, am I audible? Convener, can you confirm that my voice is reaching you? Hello, anybody hearing me? I need a response before I can proceed. Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is my slide coming? Okay, I'm very much thankful for the very nice introduction. The topic that I'll be covering today will be creative thinking. This topic is not just for any particular branch of engineering or as per se any branch at all. It can be useful for anybody ranging from even high school level to the highest level. So irrespective of whatever department you are, you can feel at home in this topic. And basically it will cover a brief introduction and then followed by some of the exercises which we will be doing. I'll also show some examples of great innovative and creative ideas that have been produced in past few years in India as well as abroad. Creativity, it is a noun and it is defined as use of imagination or original ideas to create something. Another word which we use frequently with creativity is innovation, but the meaning of innovation is just a new idea, a new method, or a new device. Now, there is a sharp difference between creativity and innovation. Creativity involves generating original and unique ideas, while innovation is about implementing those ideas to create value. Now, this table illustrates in detail how they differentiate different from each other. So, creativity it is basically based on imagination only. However, innovation is the product which has come out of the innovation. Creativity is thinking something new, whereas innovation is producing or introducing something new, maybe a product or maybe a service or similar of other things. Now, creativity is new ideas and put them into reality, whereas innovation is creative ideas and put them into practice. So, difference between those two is reality versus practice. Now, creative is an innovative process, whereas innovation is a productive process. This conveys the entire meaning. In creativity helps us to innovate, whereas innovation is basically a production of the fruit that we have gained through creativity. And creativity is something which we cannot measure, whereas innovation we can measure, we can count it, we can process it. Creativity does not cost any money, whereas in innovation there is usually some financial requirement, and there is no risk involved in creativity. Whereas in innovation, there are certain risks which are related to market risk. Basically, whether your innovation will be accepted or not, whether the outcome which you had expected may be reached or not. So these are the risks involved with innovation. Whereas creativity has no boundaries; it is free and it is basically a product of imagination. So, a creativity is an ensemble which consists of a merger of three different uh, concepts. First one is expertise, second is motivation, and third is creative thinking skills. So expertise, it is something which you acquire through experience or through learning. Motivation is something which will push you even through your failure. And creating creative thinking skills are something which some of us are born with, whereas others have to acquire it through constant practice. So in this presentation, because all of us are experts here, so I'll not go into expertise side. I'll just try to give a little bit of motivation through some examples, and we will do a small exercise to increase our creative thinking ability. Now, the human brain is divided into two parts as per the processing is concerned. So the left brain, which is a logical control system, and the right brain is a creative brain. Now the left brain does all the calculations, reasoning, logic, analysis, language, mathematics, science, whereas the right brain is associated with art, music, intuition, design, creativity, poetry, and so on. So, in this, creativity is something which is a product of the right brain. Now, basically, those people who have well trained right brain are more creative than those people who have a logical brain that are left dominated. So, full ever, this is a marketing and branding agency. They have listed out 8 criteria or 8 parameters through which we can boost our creativity or our creative thinking skills. The first one is go natural. Basically, what they mean to say is there are so many things that can be learned from nature. Uh, Products, designs, and so many new innovations are available even today in the market, which have been taken or copied directly from the nature. Second is move more. Here it means that physical exercise is good for creativity. Even if you do a minimal amount of physical activity, your thinking and creative ability increases. Third one is use your hand. What it is saying is just the more you touch and feel different materials, different objects, the more likely you are to come up with new ideas to use them or a combination of those materials. Fourth one is to lose your pride. So rather than going after who is getting the credit for this thing, we should go for purely creative ideas rather than thinking, okay, I may or may not have done this, but I want credit for this. Instead of if our mindset is uh, our mindset has the tendency towards that thinking, then our creative thinking goes on deteriorating. So rather than trying to get credit only, the focus should be on the creativeness of our mind. We should spend more time on imagining and innovating new ideas in our mind. Fifth one is to warm up. This activity means we have to take 2 minutes and think about the various use of any particular object. Let us say a pen. Now grab a pen in your hand and take 2 minutes time and think how many uses of pen you can think of. I hope this will help you to think of everyday objects or everyday situations in a very new direction. Number six is to search for evidence. Here, the evidence that we should search for is within ourselves and in our past. We can think back about past few years of our life where we have been able to come out with a genius or a brilliant idea to solve a problem. Now, if we are able to do that, then it will not only motivate us, but it will keep on, that trend will keep on increasing and we can get more creative. The seventh way to boost our imagination or creativity is to think like a kid. So we know that children are not bounded by any particular domain or dogma. So their imagination and their thinking capability is the widest. And when we are thinking like children, we usually tend to associate different ideas and different objects with each other, through which we can come out with some new innovation. Number eight is to hang out with creative people. Basically, there is a saying in Hindi, "Jaisa desh वैसा भेष," or if you are surrounded by fools, after some time you tend to act like them. But if you are surrounded by creative people, then you also tend to be a creative person, and you will inculcate the habits and the practices that those creative people do, and which will make your imagination further improve. So out of these eight ways, today I'll be giving examples of number one and seven. How nature can be our teacher, number one. Number seven is how some of the little kids have come up with brilliant ideas to solve our everyday problems. And we will do some exercise on point number five, where we will be dealing with some combination of objects and try to come up with new ideas to utilize those objects. Okay, in creativity or in innovation, it is not only our pure mental ability that comes up to create a new object. There are so many examples where new inventions have been surfacing because of mere accidents. For example, the first picture here depicts a human being to whom a pacemaker has been attached. So, this pacemaker, which is a very critical device in current day medical science, was invented by accident. The second one is a popsicle, or we call it ice cream in India. So, this was a product that was found or discovered by accident. Super glue was another life-saving equipment which was used during the World Wars. It was an accidental discovery, but during the World War, the soldiers used the super glue to stitch the wounds that got torn during the fight, and it helped in avoiding several complications arising out of those injuries. We have heard about Alexander Fleming, who invented or who discovered penicillin. Now, this penicillin is basically a fungus which ate other bacteria, so it is a type of antibiotic. Now, this was also a product which was invented by accident. And on the last product is a tissue paper. This was invented by accident when one day the operator forgot to put one of the ingredient in while making normal white paper. One of the ingredient was missing in the soup that they were using, which resulted in this type of paper. Now we find so much wide use of tissue paper right from our kitchen to our toilets and to restaurants and every places which we go. Okay, so now first one was to go natural. So I'll give you just three examples of how we have learned from nature and utilize it. The picture on the right hand side is called a bar fruit. This is nothing but a weed which sticks to our clothes if we walk through jungles, and it is a nuisance to so many people. But one fellow, what he observed was the way they stuck to our clothes was very unique, and it was difficult to remove them. And based on the design of those tendrils, he designed a Velcro, which now we used every day in our life, from sandals to different type of belts. Everywhere this object finds its use, and I'm sure that all of us have used this product at least once in our life. This is an aeroplane. If you observe the tip of the wings, they are directed vertically upward. This design was adopted because before this was done, there was a considerable amount of drag, which resulted in formation of shock wave, and there was greater consumption of fuel. Now they show that the eagle bird, when it flies, the tip of its wings are directed vertically upward. And when they apply the same thing to this aeroplane wing, they discovered that it reduces the drag and saves up to 8% of fuel consumption. Now this is on the left hand side is a bullet train, the nose of a bullet train, and on the right hand side is a kingfisher fish. The beak of a kingfisher is very aerodynamic, and for fast moving bullet trains, should be very minimum drag because of the resistance of air. Now, because this kingfisher bird is a very swift bird which moves in a very aerodynamic fashion, they found that if this design is implemented to the bullet trains, the overall drag offered by the air to its motion was reduced, and they were able to increase the speed of the bullet trains. Okay, now there is a story, or some people say it myth, that one day Isaac Newton was sitting on a park and under an apple tree, suddenly an apple fell on his head and he came up with the idea of forces of gravitation. Now, that may or may not be a true story, but this has some implication on how a human being can learn from nature. Now, if we imagine ourselves in his place, and if same thing were to happen to us, maybe our reaction would have been slightly different. Maybe some of us would have just eaten the apple and moved away, or maybe, just maybe, some of us would have come up with those theories. So these are some examples where human beings have been able to learn from nature and bring forward something new to the world. Okay, now this is an exercise. For this, I would like the participation of everyone who are present here. Okay, this will be the first exercise. How many are online? Please, can you unmute yourself? Please unmute yourself and let us try to imagine the product that can be produced by combination of these two objects. Yes, can I get response? A shoe combined with a wheel. So what is the product that we can make? Yes, I can hear some buzz, but voice is not coming through. Some buzz in the background.
Sir, is this roller skate?
Yes, it can be a roller skate. Anything new? Anything other? This is an exercise where we are trying to train ourselves to be creative. We need to think little outside the box. So roller
Sir,
skate
is
you
that the
say?
shoe wheel?
Yes, it can be. This doesn't have any right or wrong answer. This is only an exercise to increase our imagination. You can go beyond whatever is the normal thing and think about it. So one good answer was roller skater. Yes, it can be. Somebody thought, okay, there is a wheel, there is a shoe. Let me combine them and make a roller skater. Or maybe you can think even now something else. Okay, we'll go to the next one. A shoe combined with a GPS. What can be the product? It is not necessarily available in the market. It is something new or it does not exist. It is a
Sir, is
constant.
this is this footprint?
Maybe it can be anything else. This is a footwear and a GPS system. Now, footwear combined with GPS. Can you think of any product in the future? Any more responses? We'll go to the next one. Okay. So, a shoe combined with a mobile phone. So, what product can we make? There are no answers. This is only imagination. Yes. Any response? Any ideas?
Sir, no idea, sir.
Okay, it can be a shoe with emergency calling feature. Emergency calling feature. Anything new you can think of, or anything at all. Okay, this is shoe and water combined together. What can we make? Maybe a waterproof shoe, a shoe that does not get wet, or a shoe that can glide over water. Okay, shoe and time. Somebody can say it is a shoe which will
So is this
tell.
running shoe?
Yes, it can be a running shoe which will tell how much time you have spent in running. Or it can be some other thing which you can imagine. Okay, shoe with spring. Any ideas? It can be a bouncing shoe, or it can be a shoe which has spring underneath for playing purpose or giving extra lift, or it can be something else. Okay, shoe with a scale. Maybe you can think of something new with this. A shoe
So
which
is
will,
this shoe size?
yeah, you can say a shoe which will automatically fit to your leg depending on the size, or it can be a shoe which will increase your height, or it can be a shoe which will tell you how much distance you have traveled wearing that shoe. This can be all new creative ideas. Okay, a shoe with a medical device. Stethoscope.
Health based shoe.
Health based. Okay. Anything else?
It's a medicated shoe.
Yeah, it can be. Yes, yes. Anything else? Any new idea? Or it can be a shoe
Doctor
which
shoe.
can,
Doctor shoe.
it can be, but it can also be a shoe which will tell your medical condition, whether your heartbeat is in the proper range, where your blood pressure is in good normal range or not. So these are the various products which can be. So same person looking at this picture may say it is a shoe for doctor. Maybe another person can say it is a shoe which will tell your blood pressure. Another person can say this is a shoe which will do something else. So from these new ideas may be coming out. Later on I'll show you one example of shoe only, very recent invention by Indian itself, but which has captured the imagination of the world. We'll come to that also. Okay, now we did a small exercise where a combination of two things can bring out various different outputs. Now, the seventh way suggested by the follower was to think like children. Now, let us see why they are telling this. And now, this we can find some innovative ideas coming out. Oftentimes, when we are in office and we use staplers, we don't know when the stapler is about to finish, and we keep on using it, and suddenly it is finished, and we have to search around, go around different rooms and different drawers to find the pins. Now, this Ankita Nagarkar from Pune, Maharashtra, she was in class 9 when she invented this one. She, what she did was very simple. She just color coded the pins. The pins towards the end were painted in just means dyed with red color. So when the red color pin comes out, you know that okay, the pins are about to finish, and you can refill the pins. And she got a patent for this, and she got Ignite 2011 award from the government of India. Okay, there was a kid, Chabi Datta from Punjab, and she had a difficult time managing her TV viewing experience with outdoor activities. So she was constantly scolded by her mother that she spends more time on watching TV instead of going out and playing with friends. So she came up with an idea to create a device which will measure the time she spends in physical activity and then provide an equivalent amount of TV time. So she invented this one in the same year 2011. She was also awarded the Ignite 2011 awards, and she was also a class 9th student at that time. And by the time she got this patent, she was in the 10th only. So children's, the way they view at things is very different from the way we adult view at those things. And looking at the world from their eyes can sometimes help us to create new or provide a better solution to an existing problem. Okay, now I'll give some examples from some of the famous companies. Now, Dyson, it is a very big vacuum cleaner company, and they basically deal with vacuum pumps. But in 2018, what they did was they invented a new type of dryer. A typical dryer, which we use even today in India, consists of a heating mechanism and a blower. So the hot air is blown to the hair and it is dried. But this process is a time consuming process. At the same time, the hair gets damaged because of heat. But this Dyson company, they used a vacuum mechanism to dry hair. This was faster as well as it does not produce any damage to the hair. And in 2018, when they launched the product, there were 1 lakh people in the waiting list for that product. So 1 lakh product were pre-ordered even before the product was released to the market. Another ingenious idea was used by Venmove company. This is a delivery company. Just like in India, we have different delivery companies. So what they did was Their job was to deliver electric bikes to different locations worldwide. Now in USA, what they discovered was so many complaints were coming from the customers that the product was damaged when it was delivered. To solve this problem, they just painted a big picture of LED TV on the outside of the box. And that just this picture was sufficient enough to reduce the damage by 70 to 80%. This is how they work with the psychology of those workers who were mishandling the product. Now, seeing in the LED TV, those people who were mishandling it, they were able to perceive this as, as something fragile, and because of which a more care was taken and products were delivered in a better condition. In Netherlands, there is a company called Solar Road, and they have been creating these pavements which are powered by solar. So they are putting solar panels on the bike paths, and these solar panels are so effective that a 10 square meter of this panel is sufficient to provide for all the lighting needs of one household for the entire year. So this technology is currently slightly expensive, or this type of roads are more expensive than the normal roads which we see. However, the cost incurred in making these roads is overcome by the savings in the electricity over the years. Okay, this one so many people have seen in Instagram, I believe. A new type of bulbs are available in the market now, and these are local made bulbs. Anyone can make this. Here we can use any ordinary plastic bottle, fill it with water, and add some electrolyte to it so that there is no germ formation inside. And then the top portion of the bottle is left outside the roof on top, and the bottom part is kept inside the room. And the brightness produced by this type of arrangement is equivalent to a 90-watt bulb. Normally LED bulbs 6 or 9 watt are sufficient. So one such arrangement is equivalent to 90-watt single bulb. So this is a great idea, genius idea, and I'm not sure where exactly the first invention was made, but this invention is currently catching up everywhere, and we are able to see a great deal of enthusiasm among the youngsters, even in social media, for this innovation. Okay, talking about innovation and creativity, this is one man from India. His name is Uddhav Kumar Bharale. He is from Lakhimpur district of Assam. And so far, he is just 61 years old, but he has invented 160 new products, all of which are patented. 160 patents by a single person in his lifetime. And this is a record in itself. Now, I also had the pleasure to meet him personally in NIT Meghalaya several years back. So he is a very simple man, and he has designed products from agricultural level to some health related products. He has designed a product for a person who has only one leg, and those that he created another leg for him, but that leg performs as good as the synthetic leg that come at very high price from expensive companies. These products are that good, but most of his inventions are related to agriculture, some of which are uh, a machine for opening supari, supari, betel nut. So betel nut is covered with husk. So a machine for removing the husk of betel nut, or a machine for removing the outer cover of coconut shell. So he has invented so many such. For he has several inventions for tea plantation, tea cutting, tea processing. So many inventions. And if you look at the awards that he receives, there are so many. And in the year 2019, the government of India honored him with the Padma Shri award. So his name is now Padma Shri Uddhav Bharale. Okay, this is something new related to shoe. I said this person is Anirudh Sharma. He is an Indian, and he is credited with the invention of a new type of shoes. And this type of shoes are called, he named those shoes Lechal. Lechal means take me with you or take me along. मेरे को तेरे साथ ले चल, in that fashion. So Lechal. So this is the footwear that he designed, and this helps the visually impaired or blind people to navigate their way. So these shoes can be associated with Google Maps, and you can just enter the location through voice, and it will guide you. So it gives a haptic response or vibration. Suppose there is a ditch in front of you and your uh, foot is just in front, just above it, then it will vibrate. There will be a haptic input. And if you are going the wrong direction, it will give a vibration and it will vibrate in the direction where you should go. So it will give the direction. So in under the foot, if it is vibrating in left direction, you are supposed to go to the left side. So it will guide the blind people to take the right direction. Obviously, we have been using dogs, sticks for giving directions, but it is not possible for everybody to own a dog or train a dog, and these shoes are very much helpful. Another advantage was because the output of these shoes is in terms of vibration, so they can clearly hear all the sounds around and avoid accidents also. If it was sound input, then there is a good chance that you will be interrupted. For example, if we are holding a phone in our hand and going to some places using Google Maps, we have to constantly look up and down in our phone and on the road to follow the direction. But with these shoes, you do not have to look because it is giving a response in terms of vibrations. Okay, now we are towards the end. Now, conformity. Conformity is a word which stands for compliance with standards, rules, or laws. That means this is um, a behavior of a person who will do like what others have been doing. Now, this is a trait which we have learned through our evolutionary process, and it has helped us to work as a group. Because if I comply with you and you comply with me, we form a team. And this teamwork has helped the human beings to survive through those days where it was difficult and we were still living in the jungles. But now the situations have changed, the times have changed, and now there is a need that we have to do something beyond what others are doing to be creative. So this conformity is a hurdle as far as creativity is concerned. We always need not have conformity with the ideas that are existing. If we could just slightly outside the standard rules, laws, or standard way of thinking, then we may be able to come out with some great invention or very new idea. So doing the same thing in the same manner cannot produce new result. To get something new, you have to try something new. If you add hydrogen with oxygen, you'll never get gold. You'll never get acetic acid. If you combine hydrogen with oxygen, every time you'll get only water. So this is conformity. But if you add something with hydrogen, maybe you'll get something else. Or something with oxygen, maybe you'll get something else. So that is what creativity is. We have to go outside the norms which are being practiced every day. So we have to dare to imagine beyond and over the conventional paradigm. And if not in action, it's difficult to do something in action. We cannot go against the law. We cannot break the rules. We should not. But in our imagination, in our creativity, we can go beyond wherever we can and think of using a given product or a given idea in a very different manner and come up with a very new brilliant invention. Who knows what ideas may come out from simple combination of two objects, like we saw in case of the first one, roller skate. One wheel, one shoe. Both of them have their own uses. They are independent objects. But when you combine them, they give a very good product, which is used worldwide. And it has a great market, maybe in terms of billions of dollars. So similarly, a billion dollar idea can come out from a simple combination of two different objects which to everybody look irrelevant or unrelated, but maybe to your eyes or to somebody's eyes they look related, like color and staples. Just color the staples and you get new product, you get new innovation, and you get new recognition from the authorities. So with this, we come to the end of this short presentation. Here, I would like to end with what Albert Einstein said. He emphasizes on imagination. He said, imagination is more important than knowledge because knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. Thank you for listening. If you would like to share anything, I'm open.
Thank you, Dr. Nishro, for such inspiring session. Your insights into unlocking creativity and fostering innovative thinking have undoubtedly ignited the imagination of the everyone present. Before we part ways, a gentle reminder that our enlightening journey continues tomorrow from February 9, the Entrepreneurship Mindset from Idea to Enterprise, featuring Dr. Gokul Gopal from the Savita Institute of Medical and Technical Sciences, Chennai. Prepare to dive into the world of entrepreneurship and discover the pathway from the innovative ideas to successful enterprise. Thank you all for joining today's session. Your enthusiasm, engagement make this program a truly rewarding experience. See you tomorrow for learning, inspiration, and stay innovative, stay inspired. Thank you. Thank you.